everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Shasta Goes to the Movies, brought to you in partnership with Film Club at University of Houston. I'm your host and press secretary, Rachel, and I'm joined by my co-host and producer, AK.
Hey.
As well as today's guest and former president of Film Club at U of H, our George Washington, Alondra.
Hashtag my real president.
Hello. And her brother, Jose.
Hello,
Hey.
everyone.
I've heard so much about you. You are more famous than most members at the club.
Oh, gosh.
How so?
Huh?
What have you heard?
Just how much you and Alondra just watch countless shows and
Yeah.
movies together, and it
Yeah.
just never fucking stops. And it's like you're always like arguing with each other about stuff.
Yeah, for the most part, he takes credit for Film Club. He says, I have not seen enough movies to justify me starting one, basically.
So, what's good?
So I watched Your Name, and to be frank, I was astonished that it was not actually an anime adaptation of Call Me by Your Name.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's about it.
At Adrian.
That's all I got. Other than that, how about we talk about? We usually talk about something that pretty much everyone has been talking about, and I think
The hot topics.
the hot topic. Add hot topic.
They follow
our
me on
future
Twitter.
sponsor.
Oh.
Please. Yeah,
How'd you get that?
She's got clout.
All you gotta do is tweet about straight pride.
Oh.
Making fun of straight pride.
Yeah.
Uh,
But what do you want to talk about?
Speaking of pride, Chernobyl is the hottest new miniseries from HBO. I don't know. Have all of y'all seen it in different, I guess,
I've
volume?
seen 1.5 episodes just because time. I don't have much of it right now.
We finished all 5 episodes in one day yesterday. Did you finish it, Alondra?
Yeah, we saw it. We both saw it.
watched
Y'all
together.
both finished it?
Yeah, yeah.
How'd y'all think of it?
It was, at the beginning, the first episode was the most annoying. Well, not annoying, but depressing for us. Well, for me.
It was enraging for me.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
He just kept denying that anything was happening.
The incompetence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is infuriating.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, because you've seen the first episode. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just like angry.
Yeah, it's very aggravating.
They kept saying no, it's fine, it can't happen. You go check on it.
Yeah.
They kept sending more people to go check on it, but then kept denying it every time somebody came back saying it was wrong.
So I have a bit of a defense for this. The gravity of the situation, like in later episodes, they explain what it actually meant for the core, for what happened to happen. I mean, Chernobyl happened historically. It's the nuclear power plant in next to Pripyat in Ukraine. The core basically exploded, and this is a dramatization of based on true events of what happened during the weeks following and the months following, really, that explosion.
Yeah.
And to be in the 80s and not know really exactly how nuclear fission kind of really works, or what are the limits of nuclear fission really are, and to just have the absurd statement of, well, this thing that is like invincible basically has fucking disintegrated, is like such a fucking mind-blowing realization for anyone to make, that I understood at the first outset why so many people, like, the most powerful moment in that first episode is that guy kept repeating, we did nothing wrong, we did nothing wrong, we did everything right, we did everything right. It's because you can't fathom that kind of mistake. You can't fathom being the first one to do the mistake that no one else has ever done before.
Yeah.
Right? And then
I saw recently it happened in Japan.
yes, the 2010 nuclear, but that was more.
It wasn't. I don't think it was as bad.
No, the core did not explode. The core overflowed,
Okay.
and so it kind of like spilled over into the ocean, into the water.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
In Japan. Yeah, it was the nuclear catastrophe there was big, but it wasn't as bad as Chernobyl. They were able to contain it because we have more information now, right?
Yeah.
Because of the studies that they've conducted in
There's
Chernobyl.
still a lot of radiation there.
In the power plant itself, but actually the city of Pripyat is now open to the public.
Oh yeah, because I saw some influencers were being disrespectful.
I mean, of course. If you're a YouTuber, you're probably the scum of the earth. So yeah, I get the frustration of like, because the show immediately tells you what happens, like literally the opening sequences, and historically what happened. So like it's aggravating to know that these people were incapable of doing it, but like that's
it's understandable to see how you wouldn't think it's possible.
right.
But anything's possible.
But it is incompetence.
Yeah.
And and that level of incompetence is understandable to me because of the larger ideology of the entire TV show.
Okay.
But yeah, so the first episode was pretty infuriating. So a lot of people have said that like it got better around
After.
the
Yeah.
third episode and stuff. What made that shift for y'all?
Not so much like it got better, but it was able to rein itself in. So it started to make sense as it walks you through it. And we joked before, we're like, we're basically nuclear reactors, but I'm sorry,
Specialist?
like not specialists, but like experts.
Okay.
Yeah, because at the end when he's going over everything and how it works, it's like, oh, xenon poisoning. Yeah, I know what it is.
I know what that is. I know. The fucking the little shelf that he built and started removing.
Yeah.
That I did not think that could ever be a dramatically like impactful moment. But yeah.
The one thing that made me really sad in the first episode was when all those like people were just like going to check it out because they could see what was going on from far away, and they're like, "Is it safe for the kids?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, sure, maybe."
Yeah.
And they're just showing up with their kids.
When they're dancing in the, it's not ash.
It is. It's nuclear
ash?
Yeah,
ash.
it is ash.
It's nuclear.
Oh, okay,
ash.
okay. Sorry.
I even
But
told you.
let it go. But the kids, they're playing around in it like it's snow.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, when they cut to the scene in the hospital, when everybody's basically like burning up.
Yeah, it is. And like the scene where he's trying to hand her the baby, and like there's a lot of like that immediate reaction of like realizing we fucked up, and then the cover up starts to happen, right?
Yeah.
That's the part that the second episode was actually infuriating for me, because there's that big, I can't say much, but there's a climactic moment that happens at the end of the first episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the realization kind of sets in, and then no one wants to admit that it was their fault, and they kind of just pass along the buck.
I mean, what was his name? Boris. He says it. There's this quote that he says, "You're trying to humiliate a country that's obsessed with not being humiliated."
That's the larger ideology of the, I believe, of the entire thing, is that a nation that is so prideful would never allow for itself to kind of like seem like they made a fucking mistake like that. But Jose, did you like the show?
Yeah, I did. I almost didn't watch it after the first episode. You can ask her.
Yeah. We almost didn't watch it because it was just so devastating. And to know that this actually happened makes it 10 times worse.
So I know a lot of people love the third episode. That's when it starts. The third was kind of my least favorite. It kind of felt like a middle of the road kind of episode.
Where did it start? I don't remember.
The third episode is when they basically realize that they have to stop the fire, and how they're going to stop the fire, and basically like the
miners.
The miners and the cleaning. Well, the miners come in at the fourth episode.
Oh. Really?
They bring them in at the end of the third.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right.
and like the fourth and fifth are like probably my favorite, but they wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the first three episodes.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, what did you think was like the moment that like the show like really captured your attention?
Can I say spoilers or?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
I don't care.
Just
Spoiler alert.
just
But
keep
also
them,
it's
like-
history.
Like it's
Yeah.
also
Oh, yeah.
historical.
Who was? I think his name was Boris. Oh yeah, it was Boris. When he defended the main scientist.
James Harris' character.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I think that was the main point where I was like, okay, I can watch this.
Because they understood, because there's a lot of buildup of like, this is the core group of people that actually were trying to figure out what happened, and the unconscionable like weight of the lies, of all of the lying and the hypocrisy. And that part is, to me, was more frustrating than really the incompetence of the underlings that were working.
The worst part about them being incompetent is when they were in that meeting And what's his name? The guy from Game of Thrones is just like talking about like Lenin or somebody. Who was he?
Oh, the old
Oh,
guy.
yeah,
the old guy.
Yeah.
So they talk about that in the beyond the episode part in the little like let's
And
explain
he's
to you
he's
what
all
happened.
just like Lenin would be so proud.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh god.
So
Yeah.
that person didn't actually exist.
Oh,
they
yeah.
wanted to basically personify a metaphor
Mhm.
of like the leadership and the powers that basically sell you this patriotic spirit and think that everything is going to be okay because you believe you are always in the right. Like when you're always being told you're right about something, you end up never thinking that you can do something wrong, right?
Yeah.
So that was like personification of that particular metaphor of that. They talk
Yeah.
about it in Beyond the Episode, and then they kind of delve into it deeper. If anyone is interested in how they came together to create the show, there's an accompanying podcast that has the creator of the show on. That's very, very fascinating
Oh.
about a lot of this stuff.
I
This-
had no idea there was a podcast.
There's a
Shit.
podcast for a lot of shows now. It's so
Oh,
weird.
yeah.
God.
There's a Good Place podcast.
Oh.
Yes.
I haven't listened to it, but
I don't know if the cast is involved or like
they are
okay.
the guy who plays. He's one of the guys in The Bad Place.
okay.
He hosts it.
Okay.
I
Hmm.
can't remember his character's name. He's not Satan, but like
The
Yeah.
guy from Parks and Rec?
I don't know. He's like the guy kind of in charge of The Bad Place, but he's
Oh.
not Satan. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
he
yeah,
is.
yeah.
I don't know if he is or isn't. I
He's
don't
like
know.
the manager.
He's the manager.
Yeah, him.
Bad Omens. Sorry to go back to that, but Bad Omens kind of works the same way. Like they never show you Satan or God,
Yeah.
but like it's God narrating the show.
No, they show you Satan.
I mean, they do, but like that's like the big reveal.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about like in
Ugh.
hell. No, it's fine. We don't give a fuck.
True.
But like the in hell is like literally managed like the British office. I've said this before. I said it
Yeah.
literally the
Yeah.
last episode. It's managed like the British office. So it's literally like Beelzebub and like a bunch of other demons who are like running this like office space where they're basically like it's like a sales room where like you know when you like the phone call like the call center sales
Yeah.
places where they're like I saw that it's just that but how many people you've made commit sins.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. That
Yeah.
sounds so it's like The Office combined with the Good Place a little bit.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But it's like so they would like I whispered in this guy's ear and then I made him cheat on his wife and that's when sin. And then
Yeah.
Crowley will just be like, "Well, I just convinced them to like create the internet and then I cut the internet away from them or something like that
Yeah.
and I made a bunch of people like become horrible human beings on the internet." Like so like Crowley's always this big idea guy and the rest are all one by one going by humans
That's
trying to
great.
get that sale. And the angels are just like literally like Wall Street. They're like Wall Street people.
I guess.
They're like aloof and elitist, and they're like, no, it's all according to like the business portfolio that we're going through. But instead of the business portfolio, is the big plan,
Yeah.
and like, and we're gonna win. We always win.
Yeah.
Win.
So it's like stockbrokers but reverse Wolf of Wall Street.
Pretty much, yes. And they're British, so they're elitist as fuck. Except John Hamm.
Yeah.
John
Kind
Hamm.
of American. Is he
yeah.
American?
He's
Yeah.
American in the show.
Oh.
He's the only non-British.
He's
Oh,
from
okay.
St. Louis.
Yeah, no, but he doesn't play a
char-
British character.
Oh,
He plays an American.
oh shit.
An American
Yeah.
asshole. Like a gigantic fucking asshole. Like he jogs like fucking George Bush does when they used to do those videos where he would run and the fucking Secret Service was behind him. Like that. He would do that shit. Oh my
Oh.
god.
He's a great actor.
He's phenomenal. I love him.
We talked about him last episode, but I don't care. He's
yeah.
great.
Chernobyl's very good. Chernobyl's very good. Any last final thoughts on the show?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not that. I mean, it was just a very beautiful show at the same time.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Holy shit! Like they nailed the horror and the fear in such a like.
Yeah.
It's very brutalist.
Yeah.
Is the word I would use.
So it's like it has good balance, I guess you can say, because it looks at the like the political people and what they wanted to do, and then what the scientists were doing on the ground, and what the people were experiencing at the same time with their tragedies and how their loved ones were dying.
Can I just point out that Gorbachev was amazing? Like the guy who plays Gorbachev, the president of Russia. Gorbachev, the one with the scar on his head.
Oh, okay.
Every time they tell him, oh, and millions of people are going to die, his reaction is like the realest fucking shit. He's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
And like every time he has the best fucking. There's one time where they're on the phone with him and you don't even see his face, and he's like, yeah, this is like 80 Hiroshima bombs, and he's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's just the most perfect reaction every single time. I love him. He's the best Gorbachev. Good boy, Gorbachev. I love him.
So you also wanted to talk about the Netflix show Gomorrah.
Yes. So this is a recommendation from Alondra and Jose.
Ooh.
So how did y'all come about this show?
Okay,
Finding
so
out about
this traces back all the way to John Wick. So
it? Of course it does.
So, John Wick 3 was coming out, and then I was like, okay, so let's see John Wick 1 and John Wick 2. My brother had already seen them. He's like, oh, I'll watch them with you again.
They're
So-
really great.
Yeah. So, we watched that, and then there was an Italian actor in the second movie, and I was like, oh my god, he's so hot. And that's when I went down the like mafia like what do you say? Like a rabbit hole?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when I came across the book called Gomorrah by Roberto Saviano.
This is a very fascinating look into like 6 degrees of like all of that shit. Like you just started at an American movie.
Yeah.
Like the actor's not even involved in the show Gomorrah.
No, he isn't. But
Yeah.
he's played other. Like he did The Ruthless on Netflix, which is about another clan. Which like there's like 3 major ones in Italy. It's Cosa Nostra, which is like the Godfather type. I'm not gonna pronounce the other one. That's the one he plays within the movie. And then there's the Camorra, which is in southern Italy. That's what the book talks about, and that's what the show is about.
Okay.
That those clans, those families
Yeah.
within that province.
Okay.
It's like southern, like
That's fascinating.
south of Rome. Like
Yeah.
it's a fucking peninsula. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
don't know.
I don't know Italian geography. But
Yeah.
and she basically convinced you to watch
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, she just told me there was a show, so I watched it.
Yeah, because I would talk about the book, and he's like, "Oh shit, that sounds interesting," and then that's when I found a show on Netflix. I was like, "What the fuck? There's a show on here?" So I watched that. I started watching it, and then I told him about it because it's very intense. Like in the first episode, so many things happen, and then I asked my dad too. I'm like, "Oh hey, there's this show on Netflix." He's like, "Gomorrah? I already watched that."
Wow.
Yeah.
This is incredible. This is amazing. So, yeah. I saw the like. So this is how it even goes. Like it goes even weirder because like we went out all together, like the film club people. We went out for dinner, and Alondra drove me somewhere from that. I think you drove me back to my place.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we were sitting in her car, and I see the book, and she's like explaining the book to me. And then she tells me there's a TV show about it. And then I go on my Netflix and I find it, and I watch the trailer, and the trailer plays, and it's like Italian rap music. I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
what is happening here? And then it looked like a telenovela, like it looked like a soap opera. And I was like, okay, this is fascinating. And then I'm like, what is it? Have you seen it? And she was like, yeah, it's basically like Game of Thrones, but in Italian. I was like, all right. So I put it on my list. And then the last 3 days, that's pretty much all I've been watching, except for the break for Chernobyl. And that show does not stop. It does not quit. It does not care about your feelings. It doesn't even care to make you sympathize with anyone. Like everyone is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Like you cannot like them. Like there's this one scene where he's Don Pietro is in the prison, and he like kind of sympathizes with this junkie, but like he sees him getting beat up, and he's like, just don't let him find my fucking phone in my pocket. And you're like, you piece of shit. And like it's all and like you don't know who to trust. You don't know who the good guys are. Like they're presenting this Zero guy as kind of the good guy, but he's kind of just angling to take over the family by using their son. And it's like all this fucking intrigue. And the first 6 episodes of the show, like Jenny is a fucking useless idiot, and then he just makes this fucking transformation.
In Honduras, yeah.
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 Exactly.
Those. Yeah. It was fucked. Like he came back fucked up.
And it's just like the shaved fucking head.
Yeah, he fucking cut his hair. He
I
did
really
the
like this
he did the
mohawk.
mohawk. Yeah.
That is amazing. Cause it was like that show hits like the first 2 episodes I was telling Alondra like the tension is I don't know, the show needs to stop after the 3rd episode because like they're all about to kill each other, and then no, it just fucking kept. They started a prison riot, just random, just nonchalantly. He just walks into his prison cell and just is like, okay, just
Let's go.
And then they fucking grab all the fucking guards with shanks, and then they start a fire, and he's just standing there, like waiting for the dude.
That sounds amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is wild. It is and it's so fucking Italian. Cause everyone is so swagged out in the most like corny fucking like boots and fucking acid wash jeans, leather jackets, smoking cigarettes. Like you don't even know how they're not burning their hands because they have to hold the cigarette really fucking cool. And like they're in each other's faces all the time. Like the more intense the conversation, because he is like literally nose to nose.
Like Dance Moms?
Yes. And like he's
Those ladies are extreme.
yeah, those ladies might be scary.
I saw a video on Twitter the other day that was like one clip of them yelling at each other in ASMR, and this girl just voiced over the whole thing and was just whispering it.
Oh
It's
god.
like a big fight.
What the fuck? That is amazing. Yeah, it was that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Honestly, thank you.
There's more seasons, but they're not on Netflix, and they're like basically impossible to get.
Oh, really?
Unless of course you go
That's
looking
a shame
for it.
that they only put that. Yeah, because I was reading some of the descriptions for these episodes, and it fucking like they go. The family falls apart, and they fucking go to South America and start an empire there, and then they make these alliances, and like every 3 episodes, there's like a gang war that destroys all of southern Italy.
So the mob is basically Game of Thrones in modern day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like all the events happen really fast, but they introduce the primary like figureheads who are going to like vie for power actually very slowly. Like they take their time. They kind of take like 6 or 7 episodes to introduce one side, and then they take the next 7 to introduce another faction that is going to come in and try to take over southern Italy. And then like in the 2nd season they introduce some more, and it's like it's like it's a serialized drama that they like know they have infinite amounts of material that they could just do, because like they established from the beginning that Ciro's like immortal.
Oh yeah.
Like his nickname is Immortal.
Yeah.
And so he like can get away with fucking anything.
Just when you think he's done.
Right? Every time you think he's fucked or been screwed, he just somehow manages to. But like, right, it's always loss after loss for him.
Yeah.
And like, that's the story, is like how horrendous that cycle is, right? That's kind of what the book goes over too.
Yeah, the book does the show does a very good job of portraying what the book is doing. And the book is written by an Italian guy from Naples, which is where these clans come from. And his disdain and the way he speaks about them with like disgust, and I can't believe you guys are ruining Italy, basically, because the mafia nowadays is mostly logistics. So they move things. It's in Naples. It's a port city, so everything comes in through there and then goes out through the rest of Europe, and that's basically where the business is at right now. Well, in the present. What I found what I find interesting is that nowadays a lot of logistics is taken care of like online.
Oh, okay.
So like forecasting and like programs and dealing with everything.
proxies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's very
So
fascinating.
like, are they adapting? Or are they like what's going on now? Because they relied a lot on taking care of people, and so like there's small businesses and they have to buy from a particular supplier because the clan owns the bigger distributor, which buys from like foreign manufacturers.
Yeah, it's
So
all
it's
of
like-
these like connected shell companies that move together like autonomously and like move stuff. They kind of got into that in the show in like the later episodes of like the family getting conned by one of their business people.
Which one?
The dude who buys the company and then goes to try to bribe the
The one with the long hair?
No, the balding dude that then like.
The accountant?
Oh,
the
yeah,
accountant.
yeah.
Yeah. He like embezzles money from them by lying to them about some bonds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like, and it's the harsh reality of like, eventually they're gonna catch up to you because you can't be more of a criminal than the criminal shit that they've done. So they're always gonna catch up to you, and they always have the leverage because they always have the capability of like murdering your fucking family.
Yeah.
And like, outside of like what The Sopranos and The Godfather kind of does for mafioso films, this is not trying to make you sympathize with these people.
No.
Like, they are scumbags. They are all scumbags. Like, Ciro never has this moment where he goes like, should I get out of the game? No, he wants to be more in the game than anyone else is in the game. And so like, it's phenomenal. I'm so happy you recommended it to me. I'm going to finish it within the next week, probably. And I recommend everyone watch. Are you going to watch it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I put it in my list. And to segue into our next topic,
Yes.
the scene in Goodfellas where they're in prison and he's cutting up the garlic real thin. They did that in Chef Show.
Great segue. That is my favorite segue. Can we give this the segue of the day?
Thank you.
This is amazing.
I've been sitting here trying to think of something this whole time, and then I remembered that they had a scene where they cut up the garlic very, very thin, and they kept bringing up Goodfellas.
So yeah, I feel like you guys, the shows that have been like Chernobyl was recommended to me, Gomorrah was recommended to me, and Chef Show has been recommended to me, and like they've all been amazing that I just can't stop talking about them. But like Chef's Table,
it's I keep wanting to call it Chef's Table too.
Me too. But Chef Show is like a weird.
It's like a spectacle. It's not like It's so weird.
It's such a like it is a wholesome, sweet ass, like very suburban, very like mundane, like not mundane, but like very, very nice show.
Yeah.
But it is such a vanity project for Jon Favreau.
It's Jon Favreau and the chef that helped him make the movie Chef. Just cooking. And it's basically, how many chefs can we get to teach Jon Favreau how to cook? And he doesn't stop talking about Chef.
It's Jon Favreau in this show only talks about two things. He talks about the movie Chef and the chef that helped him make Chef and how amazing he is.
But and it's so good for some reason. Like, normally that kind of thing would piss me off, but, like, it's so good.
No, because the way Jon talks, he's like, he makes this, like, every day. He's amazing, right?
Oh,
like,
God.
And he's just, like, talking. And, like, Jon is, like, a very, like nice Jewish boy. Like, he's a very nice Jewish boy. Like, he's very polite, very nice, very considering in a lot of the episodes. And so he's just like, yeah, he's perfect at his job, isn't he? Like, look at this. Like, I follow him around and I just see him do these things and he does it right every time. And God. It's like, it's so amazing. And I'm like, Jon, just
it's very wholesome though.
Yeah, he's so sweet. Like, he got Bill Burr on there. And I'm like, Bill Burr is just gonna like cuss their mothers out or something because he's a vile like person. Like, his comedy routine is very... Bill Burr is just there. This is amazing. This like he's buttering up a sandwich, and Jon Favreau is asking him these really wholesome questions, and he's like, "Yeah, my mom taught me how to make a pie, so we decided to make a video about how to make pies." Like, it is the weirdest fucking show. Like, at some point, Gwyneth Paltrow asked them, like, "What is this show about?" And like
they don't even know what they're doing. They just put up a camera and started cooking.
Yeah, like the Kogi guy is like, "I don't fucking know what this is about." Like, he decided to just start filming us cooking.
Yeah.
The best part of that episode, it's the very first episode, is Gwyneth Paltrow not knowing she was in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
It was so cute.
But it was so pure. Like, you could tell she genuinely did not know what was coming on. And Jon Favreau was just like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, like, there was the board meeting. Like, he explained to her an entire scene from Homecoming, and she was like, "Oh, that was Spider-Man? I thought that was Avengers."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She literally just showed up.
Yeah. Like, I guess
it kind of makes sense though, because like a lot of them don't know what they're doing, because they filmed Infinity War and Endgame all together. Yeah. So a lot of them didn't even know if they were in Endgame.
Yeah.
So it's kind of understandable that she didn't understand, but also it's Gwyneth Paltrow.
Who plays Bruce Banner? I forget his name.
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo, baby daddy.
They had to keep secrets from him.
Do you hear that? Like, deep, like, he's like a lackadaisical, like, sloth detective. Like, he's just his arms.
I mean, he already played that guy in the Zodiac.
Yeah, in the Zodiac, and also played him in Spotlight. Like, the lethargic, fucking falling apart journalist who's like hard nosed and wants to get the truth, right? Like Mark
Yeah.
Ruffalo just portrays
Wait
that.
till you see him in Endgame.
So, but Mark Ruffalo talked about how, like, yeah, when I got the role to film the first movie, like, they didn't tell me. They just showed up in front of my house in black sedans, put me in the car, and then put me on a private jet and flew me out to, like, scene read.
It's
my
so
God.
it's so secretive.
They're
Like
very secretive.
Tom
about
Holland
this
didn't
stuff.
know he was cast as Spider-Man until it was like posted on Instagram that he was cast as Spider-Man.
That is so odd.
He was like out doing something with friends, and they were like, "Oh, congratulations, Spider-Man!" He didn't even know what they were talking about.
Yeah, it's wild. So it is fair, but like the moment that John caught Gwyneth, but she didn't give a fuck. Like she just like
she was just like, "Oh, whatever."
okay.
I
it's-
mean, she already collected her check. She's like,
Yeah.
okay.
but my actual favorite part is like at some point like John is like picking pieces together of like cooking things, and he's like it's like he's so excited that he learned what time is like
Oh
like
my-
the fucking leaf, and so he's like asking Gwyneth,
It
is
was
like,
like-
do you know what this is? And she's like, yeah, I know time. I like own a fucking food company. Like
Yeah.
we make food videos. And like John is so excited about every little fucking thing.
Oh gosh.
They got so excited about a boxed beignet mix where
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
it's the mix and you add water and that's it, and you just make beignets from that.
Yeah,
And
and
he
they
was so
kept, like-
excited about it, but then
They were a year old. So like
Oh.
the mix was expired.
So
Oh my
like, so they
God.
get the beignets,
It's
they get the
aged.
beignets out, and like John eats it, and he's like biting into it, and he's like pretending like, what do you think? What do you think of it? And the dude isn't talking. He just walks in a circle, then stops by a trash bin, throws the rest of his, and he's like, it's all right. And then he just turns around after a while, not
like,
figuring out
It's
what to
stale.
It's stale as fuck. I didn't know what to do in front of the cameras, but like, this is not about lying. Like, they literally actually don't know what they're doing with this show.
Yeah, but the good thing is a couple episodes later, he buys a fresh box of beignet mix,
Oh,
and they
do
do
they?
it right.
Okay, there's an arc to
Okay.
all of this. It's one of the weirdest things I've seen on
But
Netflix.
it's also kind of pretentious.
It is.
There's an episode with Robert Rodriguez.
Oh yeah. I was
And-
gonna mention that one.
Yeah, and he won't stop talking about how much people like his pizza.
Yep.
I mean, or the Gwyneth Paltrow episode is like, oh my god, Goop,
Goop.
is amazing. Goop is so good. Goop, and then
They
she,
make
like,
fun of Goop later on, like another
I'm glad
episode.
because
so
like
it's
Gwyneth
great.
Paltrow talked about like so there's a thing in the vegan community of like remixing meat foods to make it more palatable for people who want to switch, to have an easy switch. Gwyneth Paltrow pretended like that Goop invented that concept.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, we'll take a food that has a lot of meat and like tender cut meats, and we know people love it, and we just put our spin on it, our vegan spin on it. And I was like, vegan people have been doing this for years, Gwyneth. What? So yeah, there are a lot of those like little pretentious moments. Bill Burr had one of those moments where he's like making a joke about cooking shows. And like, I know that Bill Burr knows that a lot of the people on cooking shows like really get abused on their show, like on Hell's Kitchen. They really get abused by the producers and stuff like that. But he's like, yeah, they leave and they're so angry, and it's like they never learn anything from the shows they're on. And I was like, that's pretty pretentious, Bill Burr.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, there are those little moments, but otherwise, like, it's all overshadowed by how fucking fanboy of this Kogi chef Jon Favreau is.
Yeah.
Like, he's such a stand for this man.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I mean, I think they go to the trucks. I don't know if it was a video I saw on YouTube or.
No, yeah, there's an episode where they go to where the trucks are.
Oh, okay. All right.
And they were talking about how like now they use like freight cars
Mhm.
and they turn those into trucks
oh, okay.
so that they can have more like kitchen space.
yeah. That makes
Instead
sense.
of just using like a regular truck.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. The most wholesome part though is there's one episode that's just all about chef, and I mean they like in the first episode they make chef recipes too,
Yeah.
but like there's one episode that's just dedicated to chef, and
Okay.
they have like a binging with Babish on, and you know he's not a professional chef but he loves to cook obviously because he has a whole YouTube channel
Yeah.
built on it, and he has a tattoo from chef of this like I think it's like a grill fork. I
Yeah.
don't know what it's called.
I
Where
have
like
no
he like rolls up spaghetti on it
Mm-hmm.
and like plates it in the movie, I guess. And so he has a no, it's like
It's that scene
it's
with
like
I
a
think
fork.
with Scarlett Johansson. Was it that scene?
I don't know, it's some pasta.
Yeah.
I haven't
Also,
seen
that
Chef.
movie has an insane cast.
Yeah, it's
John-
like all his homies. Like
Yeah.
they're just like, hey, you want to be in the movie?
Except Vince Vaughn. I don't know what happened to their relationship.
I
Oh,
don't know.
They used to be best buds.
Really?
Yeah, they made 3 movies they made Swingers together, they made Made Men, and they made another one. And then after that, like, Vince Vaughn became like your generic comedy actor.
With Owen Wilson.
Yeah, post Wedding Crashers, he just became that. And Jon Favreau went on to, like, I guess, start the Marvel universe.
Yeah. But what makes it wholesome is, like, so Binging with Babish has that tattoo of, like, that thing. And he's like, and Jon Favreau's like, oh yeah, I have it over here. And he goes and gets the actual one out from the movie and he just gives it to him.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. Yeah, it's really fucking wholesome. And it's not long. I think it's like 8 episodes, 30 minutes each. You can get through it. I also want to do one last shout out, but we're running way over time. We have to move on to the hot seat. But one shout out. Rachel recommended this to me. What is it called?
Agretzko. I was going to recommend it at the end, but we can talk about it a little. We'll talk about it at the end.
I'm just going to throw it a shout out because I'm not going to recommend it. But if you're going to recommend it at the last segment, then we should move on. Yeah. It is surprising, that show. Anyways, you want to take us away, Rachel?
So the hot seat, is where our guests get to talk about whatever they want, and we just sit here and let them.
Yeah.
So
okay.
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, basically, if you want to tell us about something that we don't know about, we'll just sit here and listen and ask you questions. If we do know, we'll talk about it.
All right. What do you want to talk about? Did you want to do actors, action movies, or a little bit
Multiple
of shows?
choice.
Let's do action movies.
Action
Hey.
movies? All right.
Hey.
So he said one of his favorite. So I asked him prior to this. I cannot come unprepared.
Yes. Beautiful. This is why hashtag my real president.
Oh God. I think Adrian's getting tired of these jokes right now. All right. So
Fuck the king.
Hashtag fuck the king.
Oh my gosh. Django Unchained.
Oh.
Do you want to talk about that?
I just like so much violence. I don't know.
Love it.
I mean, that's the main point of it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Did you know Jonah Hill was in Django Unchained?
Jordan Hill?
Yeah.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. Yeah, he was the bag
he was
man. Yeah.
That's a great scene.
Yes, very stupid. Very
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if any other director had made that scene, it would have looked like trash. But because Tarantino did it, it looks really good.
It made sense. Also, like, he put an explosion in a Western.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Oh.
He was able to do that. Yeah. It's surprising. He got it done.
He
But-
exploded the Dennis mobile.
The Dennis Mobile. Until y'all put it together like that, I would have never thought of Django as an action movie. But actually, it makes complete sense. It is an action. It's like a revenge flick. Like Die Hard, his wife gets kidnapped. He goes through the building to get his wife back. This man is going through all this. Yeah, it's pretty much an action movie. Because, like, for most people, QT's action movies Kill Bill, right? But, like, Django is a perfect conceptualization of, like, blaxploitation meets Western, right? And those are action genres.
Well, a lot like for us, I guess we define action as violence to an extent. Yeah. Like stunts and all that stuff, but also like that major part of it, like the John Wick movies, for example.
Yeah. I grew up with action movies being, I'm not trying to narrow the genre. I don't give a fuck about genres. But like, usually there's like a fist fight in the movie.
Yeah.
So like I might go with you on Django now that like this is expanded.
Action movies are just violence and stunts.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And my favorite one that does both of those fucking impeccably, top to bottom, is The Raid. The Raid 1 and 2 are fantastic. They're I know, no one has ever heard of The Raid.
Yeah, they're these, what are they? They're from Philippines or Thailand?
Thailand. They're Thai movies. Actually, in John Wick 3, the twins, they're from The Raid. So it's a lot of that, like, close-up, like just get in each other's faces. Like it's what John Wick took from. John Wick is inspired by The Raid. Like all of those really close to the ground fight scenes are inspired by The Raid. The Raid is phenomenal. It's like it's so fucking good.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you about that, but
yeah,
I'll show you the trailer.
Okay.
Well, if we're on foreign movies, some movies that we really liked were I guess I don't know if they're classified as action, but New World or Man from Nowhere. Yeah.
I have not heard of either of those.
Really?
Please tell me. What are they?
They're Korean movies.
Okay. I love Korean cinema.
Yeah. So New World is about the mafia. It's
Love
about
Yakuza.
No, no, no.
Oh, those are Japanese.
Those are Japanese. Oh yeah.
Ooh. Mistakes were made. I apologize.
So I guess port cities are just, riddled
Yes.
with crime.
In the 1950s, Galveston was a mob town.
Oh well, I mean, it's
Let's
still
control
riddled
it.
with
Was it the 50s?
Huh?
Was it the 50s? Because I thought like after the
That's what the
1900 hurricane is when everything kind of slowed down for Galveston
No, in the
and it became
1950s,
Houston.
it was No, not Houston. Galveston. Galveston was a racketeering town. That's where the Fertitas started from.
Oh.
The
See,
The Fertitas married into.
my middle school Texas history class, because that's a thing in Texas. You have to take Texas history.
Mhm.
It was like we were like Galveston was a big port city, everything was huge, and then the hurricane happened, and that was it. That's all we learned about it.
Yeah, that
I didn't
dark-
know it kept going after.
Yeah, that dark period, it became a hotbed for crime, and like it became like a place where like prostitution, racketeering, all the mafia shit happened. And the family that controlled it was the Maceo family, and the daughter of the head of the Maceo family married into the Fertitta family.
Oh.
Yeah, and then once the feds came and they busted the town up, basically the Fertittas, who had the Maceo money, kind of jumped ship, went to Las Vegas, built all those casinos, and actually Fertitta's I think nephews or cousins or something, like part of his family used to own the UFC, and then with Dana White, and then they sold it for $4 billion. So like the Fertittas, sketchily enough, because like when they owned their casinos, they owned them, or that section of the family owned it with another business partner.
I'm sorry, I know nothing about the mafia. Is that what the new Fertitta Center is named after?
Yeah.
It's the owner of the Houston Rockets is
Oh
the
shit!
Fertitta.
Yeah. Tell
Oh,
The
me.
Fertitta
shit.
family
Yeah.
owns. Yeah. So a lot of their money came shady.
That's a
like
little
that.
fucked up.
No wonder, because we were okay. So a lot of
Also, this is problematic because we are the university. We are
just calling
students.
out.
Yeah, but like this is history. I can't help it. Like I can't change the history. But yeah.
Yeah, because we were like, okay, so Tillman has a shit ton of money, and they make it look like it's Landry's,
Yeah.
the restaurant chains
Yes.
and all this crap. So we're like, what the fuck? How does he own casinos? Because you have to basically get.
That's from his family.
Oh, okay.
That's his family. So they used to own it with a partner, and that partner got actually federally indicted for cooking the books and doing some shady shit.
Oh my god.
But the
accountants.
Fertittas got away with it. Didn't get indicted in the same indictment. So they took sole ownership of all the casinos, and those became what are they called?
The Golden Nugget.
No, not the Golden Nugget. They are called the Stallion, something Stallion.
Excalibur? I'm just gonna name every Las Vegas casino until we get it.
Oh wait, no, that's not.
Is it? I was gonna say the one with the horse racing, but that's in Louisiana.
Yeah, the Fertitta brothers. Hey, where is it?
You
I
were
cannot
right,
Find it.
because you said you have to basically get the mafia's
I mean, he does own.
signature of approval.
Fertitta does own the Golden Nugget, but his parts of his family, like their family, also owns like a really big casino chain that's like nationwide. It's not just in Las Vegas.
Is it Delta?
Not Delta. It's called Stallion. Something Stallion. We can't. But yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. The mob loves port
Okay.
cities.
Oh yeah, the port.
Yes.
Okay, so Busan is a city in South Korea, and a lot of the mafia is there as well. And it's about this new world. We went off on a fucking tangent.
I'm sorry. This will usually happen with me.
So New World is about a cop who was infiltrating this mafia, and he worked his way up to like the top basically. And he's like super close homies to one of the other guys that's like head of the mafia. And I think the old guy, the main guy, died, and they're basically vying for the seat.
Oh, okay.
And his handler, his cop handler, is played by Choi. I'm not gonna do Adrian's. Have you ever seen?
Disclaimer: none of us here are Japanese.
Yeah.
But we are hella Trapanese.
Have you ever seen Lucy?
Yes, love it. Love that movie. I don't know why so many people hate it. I fucking love that
Oh
movie.
my
Scarlett
God.
Johansson.
Yes, it's
It's
so
a fucking terrible movie. What are you
it's so
saying?
fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. I love that movie.
When she
And-
turns into that fucking computer.
Yes, that's
Oh,
amazing.
shit.
That's amazing. She fucking turns into wires and then becomes a fucking
Yes.
heart. Yes. I love that fucking movie. It's so good. And now Busan is directing a new movie, and it's called like Anna or some fucking shit.
Oh.
And it's like she's like a fucking British spy who can like destroy. It's amazing. I love those movies.
Well, I thought Anna kind of gave that Atomic Blonde vibe, but like
Yes.
bad.
I mean, it's directed by Bisson, who hasn't directed a decent movie in years.
Oh, okay. Well, Lucy.
I love Lucy, but I love it for all the wrong reasons.
Okay. All right. So the Asian guy in that movie, he's Korean. He's the one who plays the cop handler.
Oh, he also directed. Sorry, he also
No, you're-
directed Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets.
Oh, well, there it is. His streak continues.
Yeah, it's just nonstop.
God, there was so much hype for that movie, and it
No
just
one-
tanked.
no one watched
Nobody
it.
saw it. They had the whole first scene playing in some theaters
But I
Oh,
love.
wow.
during the trailers. Because when I went to go see Spider-Man: Homecoming the first time, I saw it in the Dolby theater, like the fancy like Dolby thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they showed the whole first scene, like the whole opening scene of Valerian, and it was just not good.
Yeah. I've never seen it. I probably will never watch it. But yeah,
Sorry, took you down a tangent.
no, that's good. That's what New World is about. And then A Man from Nowhere is also about crime, and it's about was he a hitman?
He was an ex-hitman
Okay,
or assassin.
yeah,
I don't
something
know
like
if it's
that.
the same thing.
And okay, so Man from Nowhere, and his wife died, and I don't know what the fuck. Oh, so there's a little girl in the movie, and he's basically I think they kidnap her.
First of all, they meet in his pawn shop that he has.
He has a pawn shop.
Yeah, it's a pawn shop.
I know he was like in the slums, like
Yeah.
I don't know, it was a pawn shop. Anyways, they meet right there. Okay, you take it away. You take it away.
Okay, so he meets the little girl in the pawn shop. It's like a little store. I'm not really sure.
Mhm.
And from there they kidnap the little girl, and I think. Well, in the end, he just becomes an assassin again,
Okay.
and then he's looking for the little girl. I think the mom owed some money to the.
Yeah. The mom was a
Yeah.
junkie.
Yeah.
Have y'all
okay.
seen A History of Violence?
No.
Sounds
This kind of
familiar.
reminds me of it. It's Viggo Mortensen. It's a fantastic movie.
Was
Uh,
is it another mafia movie?
It's kind of like that. It's a regular dude. His family gets murdered by the mob, and he goes and hunts them down.
Okay.
But the entire idea of the movie is that it is like a commentary on actual violence.
Mm.
So like as he's transforming into this monster, he becomes like he becomes indistinguishable from the others.
Okay.
It's like very heavy and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But this reminded me of it. This also reminded me of Old Boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I mean, Old Boy's Korean as well.
Yes. And it's a part of that Vengeance trilogy that that director had. I only remember Lady of Vengeance. I don't remember what the first one was, but I remember Lady of Vengeance and Old Boy.
I can't remember.
But Old Boy's ending is still one of the most fucked up things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that Spike Lee directed the American adaptation of Old Boy,
Yes, we don't talk about that movie.
starring
Josh
Thanos?
Brolin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea
And
he was in that
Scarlet Witch.
movie. In Scarlet Witch?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
She plays the daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, that movie's really fucking weird,
Yeah.
right?
Imagine like you just left the set of that movie and you're gonna go see him in the MCU. Welcome to Les.
Like that movie was the moment when I thought, okay, Spike's career is done, right? Like it's over. Like he has no more fresh ideas. And then like I was done with like, and then he comes out with Black Klansman, and I was like, why did you make Old Boy then?
Yeah.
Like why? Yeah, but
I gotta get into more foreign film.
yes.
I said this last episode. Like the furthest I've gone into foreign stuff is still in the West because it's France.
Honestly, like as much as we shit on Adrian, like the Japanese, Chinese, Korean,
Yeah.
like cinema is fantastic. Like it's like the Europeans do their thing, but they love their sex way too much. The
Yeah.
fucking Asians, they have real shit to say.
Yeah.
Like Host is such a stupid movie as a concept. You explain it to someone, but like you watch that movie and you're like, this movie. I'm scared and I'm crying at
Oh,
the same
God.
time. How is this happening?
Yeah, I
should-
will say Amelie is great, but like we didn't need a whole scene in a sex shop.
Right?
We didn't need that scene.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Or the scene where she's like, she knows how many people are having sex right now. Like,
It's so
what
weird.
was the point?
Because Europeans love sex as much as Americans love, as much as like we love watching Bruce Willis remake Death Wish and like go around and kill a bunch of quote unquote drug dealers. The Europeans just love to watch all their men and women just flop around having sex.
Oh
Yeah.
god. Well, if you ever if you want to start off with Korean cinema, you should watch The Handmaiden.
I have that saved on my list.
You should totally watch it. It's,
Okay.
it's fantastic.
I will.
It's a rough one.
Really?
But I
it's
think
like-
it's a great entry point because it's like it's more westernized. Than,
Yeah, and
than-
it's new. So
and it's very
like-
new.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But the subject matter.
Oh yeah.
I would say, like, I've watched part of Handmaiden's Tale. I think Handmaiden, like, I mean, it doesn't have the dystopian future stuff, but it captures the abusive lifestyle of that kind of stuff, like that close-minded, a close-minded like home life, better, I think, than Handmaiden's Tale.
Okay.
I love that movie. That movie should have won an Oscar for best foreign
I
film.
don't think it's related to the book though.
Which one?
Okay, you're talking about The Handmaid's Tale.
The
Margaret
the
Atwood's.
show.
Yeah, that's based on Margaret Atwood's book.
Yes. No, I'm talking about like abuse fantasies.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
alrighty.
Yes. No, I know the names are similar, and that's why sometimes I connect them. But
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
more about the women are supposed to do womanly things.
Okay.
Type of
Yeah.
type of genre of film. And I think that one does it a little better. I think that movie
Yeah.
deserved a best foreign film. It was
Yeah.
nominated for that, but it deserved that Oscar.
What
that
year?
2016.
That was a good year.
That was a good year for me.
What won that
My
year?
man's.
Let me look. I will look
I
it
don't
up.
remember what won foreign film. I know
uh,
who won best actor though.
Rachel, what's your favorite action movie?
My favorite action movie. I don't know. Blood Diamond? I don't know. Not really. Not really Blood Diamond.
Real esoteric.
DiCaprio.
Son
Yeah,
of
that's her man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
By the way,
The last one I watched was Men in Black International, but that's definitely not my favorite. This is gonna trigger a lot of people, but John Wick isn't up there with my favorite action movie either. It's just I don't know. I can check out of those
should-
movies too easily.
I don't understand. Can we get a little bit into this? Why should your personal list trigger other? It is your personal
That's true.
fucking list.
But it's John Wick. But like, here's the thing with me and John Wick is I loved the third one. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. But the first two, it was too easy for me to just check out and like not pay attention. Like there was so much going on, and I was just like, I'm not interested. And then the third one comes in, and it's just like, boom, Halle Berry, let's go.
yes, the Halle Berry deserves a spin-off movie.
Yes,
true.
Son of Soul won it, which is not to criticize, but this is, I think, the 16th movie about World War II Jewish people in concentration
the
camps.
Academy loves those.
It loves those.
Yeah.
The movie's good. The movie's very good. I remember watching pieces of it, but it made
To
me
anyone
too
who
sad.
follows the film club's Twitter, here's a callback. Fuck the Academy.
Yes. Roma should have won Best Picture
Oh. Yeah.
all day, every day.
I
Mine,
mean, wasn't it Green Book one?
yes.
Oh god.
Oh, that's
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Academy also loves those.
Oh yeah. My
The,
favorite movies.
Listen, I'm gonna say this now. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood isn't out yet, but if my man doesn't win again, if he's not at least nominated again, I'm gonna be pissed off. I don't care what else comes out this year.
Leo?
Yes,
Nominated or wins?
nominated at
Oh,
least.
okay.
For
At the
Best
very
Actor?
least, he needs to at least be nominated. I don't care how good that movie is.
Wait, what? No. You can't do the Revenant shit again. Y'all got the Revenant. Like, he deserved to be nominated for the Revenant, but he deserved to win for Wolf of Wall Street. He got
Yeah.
robbed on that.
No, I 100%.
But you're
agree.
not gonna reverend this shit again.
That was really good though. Revenant?
Yeah, the Revenant was
It was
good.
good. I just don't think it was his best thing, and it's
And
not
I
what
don't
he
think it was
deserves
his
that
best
win
performance.
for.
Tom Hardy did a better performance
Yeah,
than
that's
Leo in
true.
that movie.
I hated
Yeah.
him so much.
Yes, he made me fucking despise him. By the way,
And I get we don't know much about what actually happened. Like I did a whole rabbit hole on the whole Hugh Glass thing. We don't know a lot about what happened. There's not a whole lot of like documentation on what the whole situation was. Like even the novel has some like fictional aspects to it, but like they took the fiction and just ran with it in the movie.
yeah, the apocryphal.
He didn't have a
stuff.
kid. He didn't like
Yeah, so
that whole revenge fight scene didn't happen.
but the bear was important. I know the bear was important. I know the bear mattered. Like as much as people meme the bear was actually a very focal point of the production, the book, the story, everything. The bear attack was very important. I don't know why the bear mattered so much. It reminded me of that. Who was Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs? Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins and the Baldwin, the SNL Baldwin. Alec Baldwin did a movie called The Bear
Oh, what?
years ago in the 90s, and it's literally Jaws. It's just them two going out into the woods to kill this bear that's been terrorizing this town.
Oh,
Oh my
God.
god.
It's horrible. but it's amazing at the same time. I
Wait,
don't know why.
have you guys ever seen Logan Lucky?
Yes.
Yes.
The bear in the woods.
Yes. Yes.
Oh god, that shit was
God.
hilarious.
So for y'all's information, I work curbside at HEB, and every time somebody orders cauliflower, I think of Logan Lucky.
Oh my
In
god.
the back of my head, I'm just like, oh, cauliflower.
I like how the Southern accent kind of just like pops out
It's
when you're
so
saying it too.
It's such a random moment in that movie, but it's so good.
Yeah. So, but to kind of round this out, my favorite movies kind of shift day to day, but like one that holds a very close and dear place in my heart is like the Die Hard franchise, and specifically Die Hard with a Vengeance with Sam Jackson.
Have you seen it? I've never seen
I
it.
haven't
one-
seen any of the Die Hard
Oh,
movies.
that one, so the brother of the guy from the first movie comes back to get revenge on McClane, but then he decides that his master plan is he's going to rob Fort Knox and all the gold in Fort Knox. So what he does is he fucking like fakes a bunch of terrorist attacks around New York to empty out the financial district, to empty out Wall Street, so they could just sneak in with bulldozers and pretend that they're construction workers after they blew up like the financial district to rob all the gold out. And in the meantime, he is making fucking John McClane and Samuel Jackson run around New York doing jigsaw ass fucking
That
like
sounds
saw ass
awesome.
puzzles
Oh god.
to just distract him from all this shit. But then McClane realizes that it's all a ruse and then goes back and like fucking destroys. That movie.
That sounds amazing.
It is so good. It is so fucking good. I love all of the only bad one is Die Hard and Have a Good Day, or whatever the fuck it's called. Is when they go to Russia. That one is really bad. That one is bad with his son. It's awful. Like I was my girlfriend at the time. I like forced her to watch all the Die Hard movies with me, like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, because I also love 4 a lot. And so on my birthday, around my birthday month, is when Die Hard 5 came out, and she had bought me tickets like as a birthday gift. So like she just took me to the theater and she's like, "We're going to watch Die Hard," and I lost my shit. Right?
Okay.
Like I was like, "Yes." We watched the movie. I fell asleep, and we almost got up halfway through the movie to leave. That's how bad it was.
Oh, wow.
It was one of the most disappointing things that have happened. But like I had to apologize to her for wasting a birthday gift on that.
I mean, how could you know? How would you know it was gonna
Exactly.
be garbage?
I didn't. Yeah. But so we went back and watched Die Hard, the good ones,
Oh.
at my
Okay.
house.
When did the first one come out?
1989.
When did the most recent one? Like,
The most
I
recent
feel like
one.
that went on forever.
2014, 2015.
So it's like Police Academy, where it just kept going.
Well, no, it came out 2013. I was close. Look at me.
That's still a long
Big
time.
brain boy right
Oh.
here.
All the important information in there.
Right? A Good Day to Die Hard. That's what it was called. A Good Day to
Yes,
Die Hard.
okay, I remember when that came out, even though I've never seen them.
Yes. So, yeah, Die Hard 1 came out 88, Die Hard 2 90, then 95. Then they took a break until 2007 with Live Free or Die Hard, which had Timothy Oliphant as the bad guy hacker. He hacks
just
into
about-
the U.S. Oh, my God.
Timothy Oliphant's just such a nice guy, though.
Oh my
like
God.
a genuine nice guy, not like a Reddit nice
He
guy.
is
like,
such a good prick in that movie, though.
How?
Oh my God, he does such a good job of being an absolute fucking elitist nerd prick. Like one of those MIT, like, I am better than you because I understand how,
That's
like.
every computer science person ever.
Exactly. He's the perfect computer science guy, and it's so good. And like he hacks into America and fire sells everything.
Oh, that sounds
and,
amazing.
and yeah, and like John McClane has to, and so the problem with Good Day and Die Hard is that whatever the fuck it's called, the fifth one, is that John McClane doesn't talk to himself. That's one of the big problems. John never talks to himself. He's always bad, gruff Bruce Willis, not John McClane. But like the beauty of those movies is John McClane would like have an entire highway, an entire tunnel collapse on him, and he'll be like, "Why the fuck did I get myself into this? Like, what the fuck? Why am I with this fucking nerd right here? Like, why am I here? I should be at a vacation and I should be retired right now." Like in the first movie, he's like, "I don't know why I'm doing this for her. She wants to divorce me. Like, why am I here?" And like he's in vents and he's talking to himself and his leg is bleeding and he's been shot and like he's just like lamenting the fact that he's here in the first place and that he wants to leave. Die Hard is good.
Timothy Olyphant's such an underrated actor.
Very underrated.
He's so great.
Very
Because if he can do that, but also be fantastic in Santa Clarita Diet,
Yeah.
but also be amazing in his like 5
If
minutes
you
in
love
The
Timothy
Office.
Olyphant, if you have HBO, I recommend, if you like Timothy Olyphant and you like Ian McShane and John Wick, you need to watch Deadwood. Those are the
Deadwood.
quintessential like roles for both of them. He is the perfect good guy. Timothy Olyphant is the perfect, and Ian McShane is just this fucking rough and gruff, I don't care if I'm good or bad, it's all what is good for me type of person. And it's fucking phenomenal. The movie just came out, so I would recommend everyone watch it and then watch the movie because the movie's great. The movie's fantastic.
Oh, it's a movie.
No,
No,
it was
it's a show.
It's just a 3-season show.
Oh, okay.
And then now they came out with the movie to wrap up the story
Oh, okay.
because
They're
kind of
doing that with Downton Abbey too. They do that with a lot of shows.
Downton Abbey. Downton Abbey was the weirdest phenomenon this country has ever went through.
What is that?
It's a British royalty show.
That lives at cause like all the castles have like fancy names. It's like the castle's called Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
All I know about the movie is it's like the king and queen are coming to have dinner. Like that's all it is.
Yeah, it's like the
They're just
drama.
preparing for a royal visit.
Yeah, it's the
The whole
drama
time?
of
Yeah.
the royals.
Oh, okay.
It's the drama of the royals versus the drama of the servants.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. It's kind of like Jane. What's her name?
Yuri?
Yeah, it's like one of those novels.
Okay.
It's kind of like that, but like a little more realistic and the Victorian era type of stuff. Anywho, we're very much over time, but we gotta get to the third segment. So take us away.
Welcome to the rec room.
Hey,
This is Cougs Rex, where we just recommend some
It
stuff.
still feels like a rec room. I'm going to install an AC in this room.
Okay.
I very much apologize for
No,
this.
you're
You
good.
should get one of those Dyson. Those are really expensive, but the Dyson fans because they don't make noise.
Oh, okay. But the problem is I need something that generates its own cooling. Anyways, this is not my let's get into what we need to recommend.
do you want your list? I have your list right here.
No, I know what I'm gonna recommend.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Alrighty.
Who
He
wants
told
to
me
start?
shut the fuck up right now. Did you hear him?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Damn. Sibling rivalry over here.
So who wants to start?
Jose, we can start with you.
Okay, I was gonna recommend a little show on Netflix. It's called Sex Education. Have you heard about that?
I've heard of it. I have not seen it.
It's really great.
I told him I already recommended it at a discussion, and he still continued.
It's really good. That's why.
It has a girl that looks like Margot Robbie, and it has grown-ass Asa Butterfield in it. Yeah. Yeah, he's all grown up now.
I know. I wanted Ender's Game to be so good.
Me too. I really wanted that movie to be good.
I still watch it. It's like Percy Jackson, where like I know it's shit, but I can still watch it
That
and
movie is
appreciate
offensive.
it in a way.
That movie's offensive. Ben Kingsley with those face tattoos was literally the most
That's all
offensive
Ben
thing.
Kingsley does.
Oh my god.
He's like a male Scarlett Johansson.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
In a way.
Hot take. Hot take.
You know who Ben Kingsley is?
No.
Okay, he's this dude that's white, but he always plays like a Middle Eastern person.
So my dad
That's
actually
what Scarlett
explained this to me.
Johansson does.
So my dad explained this to me, by the way. One of his parents is Indian.
I can't,
One of Ben Kingsley's
yeah.
parents.
I
is
can't remember what
Indian.
else he's in. He's in something recent that's about to come out.
Oh god.
But by the way,
Okay.
they're both great actors. Just they both tend to do that kind of thing.
Yes. ScarJo's trying to step away from that, I think,
Yeah.
after the Ghost in the Shell controversy. So yeah, sex education.
Yeah.
What is it about? I never got what it's is it
So it's a kid with a mom who's a sex psychologist,
okay.
and he basically gives advice to kids at his school. I don't know if it's a college. I think it's a college.
no,
Okay.
it's a school.
It's a school.
It's
just
like a high school.
It's like a high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And he just helps them with their like sex problems.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just gonna
Okay.
leave it at that.
All right. This sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
funny and it's like, I guess aware. Like they address, like I guess, current events, current things.
Oh, okay.
Like there's a gay character that's his friend, and then there's abortion, and then there's like other stuff, and like it also looks at the sex life of like teenagers.
Oh, okay. Okay. I hope it tackles it with a little.
I know Emma Thompson's in it as well.
Emma Thompson? No, it's Gillian Anderson.
Oh, okay. What is Emma Thompson in? She's
Good
in some
Omens.
show
Huh?
recently.
She's in Good Omens, right?
Emma Thompson?
I don't
She's the
know.
god.
She's like
God.
hot
She
and
was in
upcoming in
MIB.
America right now.
She was
Yeah,
in-
she's in MIB.
Oh, no,
but,
no, I'm
in
confusing.
Late Night, but there's like a show that she was in recently.
I am
I
confusing.
don't know because
Emma Thompson.
she's like up and coming in America right now.
She's doing that HBO Black Mirror thing.
Yes, Emma Thompson is God in Good Omens. She's the narrator in Good Omens.
That's Frances McDormand.
Is it Frances McDormand?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
You fool.
Hold on.
All right, bye. I will hand in my resignation.
Frances McDormand doesn't even have a British accent. She's not doing a British accent.
She's not.
No.
That sounded very posh.
Really?
The accent she was
Fuck,
doing was
maybe
very
I'm tripping
posh.
out. But I know it's Frances McDormand because I actually looked it up.
It sounded to me like it was Emma Thompson, but you're right. You're right. It is Frances.
I guess it's
McDormand.
because she's doing a bunch of movies
Because I
now.
went on a tangent about 3 Billboards while watching that show,
Okay.
and now it makes sense why I went on a tangent about
Oh,
3
okay.
Billboards.
You were like, why if it was Emma Thompson?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know.
That
She's
makes
in a
more sense.
lot right now. She's like, I don't know if she's been doing stuff in America like for a while because it's saying she's in Bridget Jones.
She
but
mostly
like she seems to be hot and up and coming like right now in America.
yeah. Emma Thompson was that's how I confused her. I talked about Frances McDormand in 3 Billboards, and then I confused her with Emma Thompson by telling my roommate she was Nanny McPhee, when Emma Thompson is Nanny McPhee. So I literally made Frances McDormand and Emma Thompson one person.
Okay.
in my
Wait,
mind.
what? She's in Harry Potter?
She is, yes.
How have I missed Emma Thompson my entire life until now? I thought she was just like
She's Nanny McPhee.
she's getting like famous in America all of a sudden.
Oh, she's
I
always
thought
been
she was
here.
like doing. I thought she was like doing like a Olivia Colman where she was like
Emma
big in the
Thompson-
UK and then came over recently. But like she's I am stupid.
Apparently, we've all made mistakes today. We've all made mistakes except hashtag real president and her brother.
Oh.
They've not made any mistakes, and that's why they're our leaders. And
Do you want to talk about Money Heist or Altered Carbon?
Oh, Money Heist.
Money Heist is very good.
Oh. When you told me, I told him. That's why he's like, oh, I've heard a lot about you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when you told me, oh, you should watch Money Heist, my brain like went go poof, because he also told me watch Money Heist.
It is.
But
it is.
It's really good.
It's very good. It's like they spend that entire first like season like plan because I've only seen the first season, but they spend the entire first season like planning. Like they get into it. They like commit the heist in the first episode, but like you then like go back in time and see how the planning goes, plus the investigation. It's fucking it's what Now You Can See Me should have been
Oh, okay.
without the magic. Like
Okay.
like it's what Now You Can See. It's a better version of Now You Can See Me without the magic
Okay.
stuff. That's a bad explanation of what that show is. Ocean's
Really?
11? Is it more like Ocean's 11?
No, I would say it was more like Now You See Me.
Yeah, it is. It is, but like much better done. The
Okay.
pacing there is just like it's
There's a point in like you just want to keep watching.
Yes,
and not
you
stop because
can't.
you don't know how they're gonna get out of that situation.
It does this anime thing of like
Oh.
every episode ends with this fucking gigantic cliffhanger,
Yeah.
Okay.
and you're like, I can't stop. It's impossible for me to stop
Okay.
right now because I think they designed it in mind to be kind of like a 13 episode movie.
Okay.
It's very good. It's very good.
That's the
Alright.
problem with American TV shows is they end every season on a cliffhanger and then it gets canceled.
Yes.
It's like
Or-
just stop doing that. Like
Or
just,
or it ends the season on a cliffhanger, and then it turns out the leading guy who was carrying the entire show is actually a sexual offender, and
Oh, God.
a la Cards.
House of Cards.
Yeah.
House of Cards. Yes.
oh my
You're
god.
like into that show, and you're like, oh shit, what is gonna come
I
out of
still
this?
haven't seen it, but that video was just so fucking weird.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that video's
Fucking-
bad. That video.
He thought he was doing something.
Yeah, he really did. He's like, oh my God, look at me. I'm so fucking clever. They're going to love this.
His publicist must be just as insane too.
I
if he
know.
let that happen.
His
so ra-
lawyer's fucking insane. His lawyer's like, these fuckers are lying. They're never saying the truth.
Oh,
He
wow.
went to court recently for it. I forget. Like it's the court. The case is progressing.
These Hollywood lawyers are fucking. R. Kelly's lawyer went on fucking Inside Edition and was just like, like straight up calling all the fucking accusers, all the women, like fucking liars and hypocrites.
Wow.
Oh.
God.
And
These
like
guys
gold
drink their
diggers.
own Kool-Aid.
Yeah, dude. No, like they're.
Did you see that R. Kelly interview?
Yes, of course.
Well, we just stood up.
Yeah.
Which camera? Which camera? This camera? I'm a good man. I'm a good man.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
I can't see my children. Yes, that was amazing.
When she tell him to sit down, does she?
Yeah.
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 Many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was impressed with Gail Kim in that interview. Alondra, your recommendations, I guess.
Okay, so I'm gonna do Formula One. Drive to Survive.
Oh, okay.
It's on my list.
Yeah, dude, it's so good.
She's
Like,
very obsessed.
I always play it at the store. Like, we have the TVs up, but one TV is like with like regular TV, and then the other one has Netflix, and then I always put Formula One on. Because the show's very interesting because it looks at the drivers, their history, the drama, the politics within Formula One.
That's amazing.
And then it looks at the races and how intense it can be. And it's just so beautifully shot. Like some of the shots that they do, even though like it's very nerve-wracking because, I mean, you don't know these people, but like seeing the crashes and how they just walk out of the cars. Like, it shows also, like, how far the cars have come. I don't know if you guys know any history, but there's a driver named Senna. There's a documentary about him
I was
as well.
literally about to recommend that movie to you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was watching it, and it, like, the way the documentary goes, it kind of foreshadows that something's going to happen to him.
Yes.
And then I looked it up, and he did pass away. Was it Italy? Was it the Italian Grand Prix?
I'm not into racing, but Formula One's just interesting.
Yeah, it really is.
Like I watched Rush, and I was just like, oh my god, let's go! Like
So the issue is there are a lot of people who are fanatic about the actual mechanics of the sport, like how the sport works. But like in reality, every single sport, whether it's football, whether it's soccer, whether it's basketball, even Formula One racing, even fucking like lacrosse, right? Whenever you actually get into the stories of the people and the politics and the history of that sport and all of that, I don't think you can find a person who doesn't find that shit interesting.
Yeah.
It is exceptionally fascinating. There's a documentary about literally lacrosse players who were falsely accused of rape.
Oh.
And it's called These Walls Have Ears, and it is fantastic. It is like, it made me interested in lacrosse for like 2 weeks.
Oh.
And then I found out that like this was just a solitary case. Like most lacrosse players are actually douchebags.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
because they're all from Connecticut.
yes.
Yes. Of course.
But yeah, I think if you can get people who can tell a very riveting story, a compelling story about any type of sports, it doesn't matter what the sport is, you will always find a compelling fucking
Yeah,
story.
because after I watched Rush, I was like on Lewis Hamilton's Instagram.
Yeah,
It was, like,
I looked him up too because you mentioned him and how you briefly looked through his IG and stuff. And I didn't know that he was the only black driver ever in the history of Formula One.
Yeah.
And that not only
There's,
that, he doesn't.
I think it's in Mexico. There's one wildlife refuge that's big on Instagram. I forget what it's called. I think it's called like Black Jaguar, White Tiger or something. They named one of their like tiger cubs after him.
Oh,
At some point.
not even after the Mexican driver. There's a Mexican driver
I don't know.
in the Formula One.
Of course not.
I don't know.
And
But
they
they
Chadwick, Black
Boseman?
Panther.
Oh.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman actually went to that wildlife preserve as well, and he's been doing work with them and stuff like that.
they're big.
He's filming a movie with Spike Lee in Africa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's putting out a movie called 28 Bridges.
Oh my God.
Which looks really fun. And why is
I know.
Chadwick in this movie? Like, this looks like a John Cena ass fucking
It's
The
also-
Rock movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is something you put Batista in.
Yeah. Once I saw they put the Russo name, the Russo brothers or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, they're
Almost like, hey, maybe this will sell it. For me, that's like a big red flag. Like, you don't want to go see that shit.
Yeah, that's the same thing with Anna. Like when they put up, like they didn't put up any of Bessan's other movies. That like the guy who made The Professional, and I was like, he
I
made
hate
this
when movies
2
do that.
decades ago.
I hate when movies do that. They're just like the visionary director of this. I'm like, I don't give a shit. It's not gonna be the same.
Yeah.
So he's not making the sequel. Like I don't understand why you're telling me to go watch this.
Oh God.
But yes.
yeah.
A lot of that. Senna and Rush are phenomenal. That was when we were having that conversation in the fucking chat about Chris's who get us turned on.
Yeah.
The Rush was the moment where I was like, man, Chris has got something there.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
But
You know what it was for me and Chris Pine? Star Trek. But like,
for me it was Unstoppable. I watched him in Unstoppable, and he was so like,
he's so great.
like, yeah, it's just such a good boy.
Did you know he can sing?
Yeah,
Really?
he was in
Yeah.
Into the Woods.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah, he was into the.
He was the prince.
Yes.
That whole scene with Billy Magnuson.
I want to watch that movie.
when
again.
I
It's a
when
very
I heard
cool
him
movie.
sing, cause he did an album with Barbara Streisand. He did one song, and I was like, oh my god, Hugh Jackman too. Oh my god.
Hugh Jackman is one of the few people that has like a consensus like reputation in Hollywood that he's like the nicest human being ever.
It's like the Keanu Reeves, but from
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shame
We
he
got
won't
we
be
got
over.
Keanu from I almost said Canada.
Canadian.
Canada.
Actually, we
We
claim
got Keanu from Canada.
we claim Keanu. Keanu was born in Lebanon, so we're going to claim Keanu.
Yeah.
He was born in Beirut. His mom is Arab.
Okay.
But doesn't he like? He claims himself as Canadian.
Yes, he does, but it doesn't matter what he says. We're claiming
Yeah.
him. We don't care.
Fuck what he thinks.
It matters
Exactly.
what film club thinks.
Remember that? Does anyone remember Dave Chappelle? Remember that the race fucking draft he did with the Wu-Tang Clan?
No.
Where like black people took Tiger Woods and Asian people took fucking Flavor Flav.
Oh
Oh
god.
god.
No, and I think Dave Chappelle. I think it was a stand-up and what you do. Johnson.
Oh,
He's still
yeah.
here.
Johnson. He's still here.
The Dave Chappelle. Actually, fuck it. I'm gonna recommend this. The Dave Chappelle Show.
Yes.
It's on Hulu.
Oh.
It is.
It is.
Yes, it
I
should
haven't-
be on Hulu.
I haven't seen it since reruns when I was a kid, which sounds terrible, but
Dave Chappelle's show is the greatest sketch show ever made.
yeah.
It is never lost, undefeated.
Oh.
It is perfect, beginning to end. Even the third season with the leftover sketches that they put in after he ran to Africa.
The last thing I remember from that show was like, so I watched most of Game of Thrones season 8 at like my brother's apartment with his girlfriend, and before one of the episodes, for some reason, he was talking about this sketch of like a blind black man in the
Yes,
KKK.
that's the
It
most
was-
famous
oh,
sketch from the
God.
show. It's the sketch.
That's
It's the
so
first
funny.
sketch. It's literally the first sketch of the first episode.
Oh,
is
wow.
he plays a blind black man who thinks he is white, hates black people, and wants to join the KKK.
And everyone else just goes along with it.
Yes, everyone else pretends like he's white.
Oh my god.
It's so funny though.
It is so perfect. It is a perfect explanation because it's not about like you're right. It's about like if you say the same things as they do, they'll accept you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's a perfect fucking show.
It's
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, that's my recommendation. Rachel?
I have two.
Okay.
One of them, because we brought up Keanu, is Always Be My Maybe.
Hmm.
I've never,
It's on my list.
I like fell out of rom-coms
Mhm.
because like modern rom-coms just sucked, but like they're getting a comeback, like
Yeah.
a good comeback, and it's just, I don't know. I think to bring Keanu into it is just kind of weird because he has like 10 minutes of screen time,
Yeah.
but it's like it. I don't
He's
know how to
selling it,
explain
though.
He sells it. It's so
Also, Ali Wong
Yeah.
is the best fucking thing happening right now.
Yeah.
She is fucking killing it. Everyone should watch
Well, it's
Baby
writ-
Cobra.
It's written by Ali Wong and Randall Park.
Yeah.
and
Oh.
so they also star in it, and it's so funny. Like
Because
it's so
all of
good.
these people came out of fresh
fresh off the boat.
fresh off the boat,
Mm-hmm.
which initially when it started, it was a really nuanced, like, understanding show. But over time, it became very much a stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the cast has been, like, low-key, like, it's a check for them, but, like, Loki has been talking about, like, we want the show to be canceled. We don't want it to be renewed.
Okay.
Multiple, like, Randall, the main lady in the show, Ali Wong, who is a writer on the show, like, a lot of them are not happy about the direction that the show has went in. So, like, but it was renewed for another season,
Oh my
and like
God.
everyone has to like now like okay, we got to get back on the saddle. But a lot of those people that got their fame after that show are trying to do actual things that like represent, especially this post crazy rich Asians era, where we're trying to represent this more positive image outside of like Randall Park in the movie is like a kind of a loser, right?
Yeah.
He dropped out of college and stuff.
He didn't go to college.
Yeah.
He's like one of those people that's just afraid to take chances and like move on with life, and he just stays in his one little area of the Bay Area and does his thing. It's like one of the main parts of like his story is like he's in a band with his like friends from high school, but they only play at this one place
That's fantastic.
in their area, and they're
I
just
love it.
they want him to go to another bar and play like another club and
It's very
grow,
cliche
but
to
he's
say this.
afraid of doing it.
But it's crazy that in 2019 we're like applauding a show that shows minorities as normal fucking human beings.
I know.
Like
I like this new wave thing where it's about minorities. We're seen as people, but we also retain some of the culture that we have.
right. Yes, that's
not-
very important.
Yeah. It's
That's-
not like we're just playing we're brown, but we're still like white folks.
Yes. One of the parts that I really liked about Rami Malek's show, what was it called?
Mr. Robot?
Mr. Robot. It was made by an Egyptian man. It is starring an Egyptian man, and it never gets into that conversation. It is very normal that Rami Malek is a hacker. He works for a company. He's like starting this revolution, and there's never that like getting into that stuff. But they don't set up the character as like he's an Egyptian person, right? They set him up as an American. But like it's very fascinating that now we get to like have some of our people actually be in movies without even acknowledging that like just they're normal fucking human being.
Yeah.
But when we go and do the representative stuff, we're actually like representing the culture. This is why I love Black Panther. It's fantastic. I think it's fantastic from that perspective.
Yeah.
It's
but like that, you know, that's the one of the big things of Ali Wong's character in the movie is it's like she goes on and becomes hugely successful, and so like part of it is like, oh, you've lost touch with home.
yes.
And so not to kind of a spoiler sheet. I mean, it's a rom-com, of course. It's,
Yeah. You know where it's going.
Predictable.
And you know where it's going.
yeah.
Like, actually, the trailer, if you watch the trailer, it's like 5 minutes fucking long, and it shows the whole fucking movie pretty much. Like, it even shows her, like, not being with her husband anymore, her fiance. Like, it shows their breakup in the trailer. So, like, if you watch the trailer, you know what happens in the movie,
Yeah.
I guess. And what's your second one? You had a second one.
Agretzko.
Oh, yes, yes.
What is that?
Okay.
It's a show. It's, well, I guess she's not new anymore because she was new like a year ago, but like a new character from Sanrio, which is they do Hello Kitty and like Gudetama and stuff. And so she's a red panda, and she's like, it's an adult show. Like, it's not like kids like you're used to seeing from them. It's like she's an adult like with like a day job.
Yeah.
And she just has anger issues.
It's like so representative of this like this thing that happens in Japanese culture, this oppressive like corporate culture that they have over there. But the fantastic part about the show is like it's from Sura, who's like a company that's for the last 60 years has been the quintessential like kawaii, like fucking chibi, cute, fucking wholesome small animals doing the
And then in
nicest
comes
things.
this like red panda saying fuck. Like,
And it's like,
wow.
and she's like, she's like waking up and like fucking like she's a black metal, like that's her that's how she releases. She goes and does karaoke.
she goes to a
alone
karaoke bar.
and like sings black fucking like baby metal ass shit, and she's like yelling shit and fuck my boss, and I hate corporate culture, and it's
How
eating
far have
me
you gotten
alive.
into the first season?
I'm 2 episodes in.
Oh, okay. Later on, it
Because
gets
I have
so
this,
good
I have this tradition
with the karaoke.
I wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning. I eat a bowl of Lucky Charms, and I watch Steven Universe. But now, since she's introduced me to the show, for the last 2 days, I've been waking up, eating croissants, and watching Agretzko.
Oh,
At 9 o'clock in the
okay.
morning,
So
because
Lucky Charms are specifically for Steven Universe.
Yes.
Okay.
it's so like okay.
and
so
dinner,
the thing
sometimes.
I hate about Netflix, it's a good thing, but I also hate it, is that you have to wait over a year before you get the next season. And like sometimes they keep it up, sometimes it's a little bit less than a year, sometimes it's exactly about a year. With the Gretzko, it was like 1.25 of a year. And so it was so frustrating because I found it like when it came out, and I fell out of Sanrio years ago because I'm not kidding anymore.
Yeah.
But then I saw it and I was like, this looks interesting. I'm gonna watch it. And I thought it was a kid's show, and I watched it and I found out it isn't. I'm like, this is incredible.
It's
so
wildly
good.
feminist. It has
It's so
little,
amazing though.
Yeah, it has little jokes that are fucking incredible. There's this scene in the first episode where these two like very powerful corporate ladies, like their management, and they're walking
badass
around-
bitches.
They're bad bitches, literally. But like they then turn the corner where no one is watching, and one of them like fucking drops the act, like drops the like walking perfectly with a straight back and everything. And then she's like, this walk fucking hurts my back. And she's like, we're not allowed to show fucking weakness. And then she just rises and they go fucking
It's great. You
right
get to
back
see
into
more
the
of them
zone.
later.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
And like, okay, so
how sexist her boss is, like straight up
Yes.
fucking sexist.
yes.
Oh my god. And it's not just like all women are amazing and all men, like there's this like conniving woman in the workplace who uses her sexuality to like get ahead in work and stuff like there's a lot of little fucking things here and there. There's the guy who always talks about like the patriarchy and like the hierarchy of corporate culture and whatever, but he sucks up to the bosses just the same, does his job, never fucking wavers away, never starts like a union or anything like that, like just a corporate shell the same way as everyone else. It's fucking,
Yeah.
it blew my fucking mind.
Yeah. And like,
That's-
I would have recommended it anyways, but the second season it's even better than the first. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good, and it's so.
And the
I don't know
metal
how to
is
explain
good.
it.
The screamo metal in it is fucking good. It's
Yeah.
like, it's very fun. It's like someone at Cerno was like, what should we do? We've been doing this cute stuff. And it's like, well, baby metal is popular.
Oh.
So let's do that. It's fucking, it's wild.
And you can like feel her rage. Like it's
Yeah.
stuff that would infuriate you too.
Yes,
Okay.
it's
I mean, it's corporate life. I'm gonna probably see it very soon.
I think you would relate to it. I think
Oh, okay,
hashtag you would relate to it because like it is the thing that feels the most like authentic about it is that what's the word I'm trying to look for? It's that it is insane for it to even exist. Like even if it wasn't great, like just the fact that this concept exists and it came out of those people, like that shouldn't be happening. Like
They hired the right person.
yes, they
'Cause
got
she's
the
very
right people.
new.
Yes,
Oh.
and like
They haven't had a new character in a while.
kudos to them. Kudos to like this exploration of like this esoteric part of Japanese culture. It's really fucking cool. On that note, should we close the door on Rec Room and go home?
Yes. We're all gonna get off the treadmills.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
So, Shasta Goes to the Movies is brought to you in partnership with the Film Club at the University of Houston. Opinions shared in this podcast do not reflect that of Film Club at the University of Houston, the University of Houston, or the University of Houston community as a whole. Follow us on Twitter at U of H Film Club and send any questions to the U of H Film Club at gmail.com. Thank you to my co-host AK, our guest
Yeah.
Alondra and Jose, and thank you to the audience for listening. We'll see you next time.